Ansem.
Gorge, I guess this must be his room.
Where's the kid?
Hello?
Hey, you! I'm looking for somebody. Have any of you seen a guy with spiky hair? Spikier. I'll just take a look around. Sorry to bother you.
No bother, ma'am.
So you made it.
Leon!
It's Squall, you dumbass. Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome back to Kingdom Hearts 2. Yeah, that was Tifa Lockhart in her Advent Children design, and honestly my preferred look for the character, specifically the Kingdom Hearts 2 variant of that outfit. It's, quite sleek, pretty badass, and, I don't know, I think it looks quite good. But anyway, this is Ansem's study. We get to see all his diagrams of the heart. The place has been trashed. Maybe Dahlia did this, while looking for the Aglaophatus and the White Claudia. And as you could tell, I just got finished reviewing a Silent Hill Origins. But yes, this is a portrait of Ansem, and we're gonna be getting a few revelations about this quite soon. Maybe if we access Ansem's computer, we will find the answer. Oh, and a skill recipe. That'll be deliciously useful when we take that to the Moogles, in the Boogle Joogle. But yeah, you pretty much just talk to Squall and he pretty much takes you where you need to go. But in the meantime, let's examine Ansem's desk. I was only really doing this to, well, give you all that out of the room, examine all items, and well, I mean, pretty much just try and see any small details that might go into 5 hidden details that you missed, or at least you couldn't find unless, of course, you were really that curious. YouTube thing to get the views and the weed and the cocaine every day. Go. A secret passage. Well, I mean, if you remember back to Kingdom Hearts 1, Ansem was doing research into the Heartless, so it would make sense that he'd want to keep his office out of public view. And what do we see here? Naught but the Camino cloning facilities from Star Wars: Attack of the Clowns. Or at least that's the kind of vibe it gets from me. I mean, I'm sure Nomura derived influence from Star Wars in some aspects, and yeah, look at this. This is pretty impressive scenery for PlayStation 2 standards, but yeah. I wonder what experiments he was conducting here.
This is it! Where's Kairi? Where's Riku?
Easy. You want to break it?
Oh, sorry. Guess I got a little carried away.
Wow!
Huh?
Wow!
Get off of there!
Attention current user. This is a warning. Further misuse of this terminal will result in immediate defensive action.
Who's there?
I am the Master Control Program. I oversee this system.
Where are you? Donald!
I'm sorry!
Decision gate breached. You are now under arrest.
Arrest?
Run!
And so, because Sora was completely tech illiterate, yeah, he caused all that shit to happen. Anyway, welcome to Space Paranoids. Before I get into any of this and before more talking happens, yeah, Stitch's involvement in this game, never really explained. So, yeah, that's a thing.
Sora!
Go on, show him who's boss. Who are you?
I am Commander Sark.
A heartless commander?
Observe.
Okay, you're the boss. I get it. Man, what kind of world is this anyway?
You're inside a mainframe computer system.
A what system?
A computer system for processing data. This system is a copy of one created by a corporation called ENCOM. The original program was destroyed. But this copy was acquired by another user. The new user updated and customized the programs, renaming the system Hollow Bastion OS. He used the system for town maintenance and to advance his private research. My name is TRON. I'm a security program, but now I'm under arrest, same as you.
Did you guys get any of that?
Gorge, you know, maybe we should just introduce ourselves.
I'm Sora.
And I'm Donald.
Nice to meet you, Tron. Well, I'm Goofy.
With that configuration, you must be users.
Users?
You'd better get out of here quickly. Who knows what the MCP will do to you?
MCP?
The Master Control Program. It controls the whole system. If you idle here, you will be derezzed.
So, how do we get out of here?
This terminal could have gotten you back to the user world. But the MCP cut the power 50 microcycles ago. If we could bring the energy core in the canyon online, we could power it back up. The problem is, we're stuck in this cell. We're not going anywhere unless we unlock the energy fields.
Well then, looks like we got the right tool for the job. So, yeah, pretty much just unlock this, and, yes indeedy, this is Tron. And you might be thinking they got a voice impersonator for this dude, but no, they actually got, Bruce fucking alliterative names, they actually got Bruce Boxleitner back for, Kingdom Hearts 2, the story of how they got him back is actually quite interesting, but we don't really have enough time to talk about it now, because we got a cutscene coming up. But to kind of talk about anything else, really, yeah, Space Paranoids, an interesting world within a world, and honestly, it's one of my favorites. I really enjoy the cyberspace levels, and oh boy, it creates a really, well again, while I wouldn't really call it that unique compared to some other, you know, cyberspace levels in video games, I don't know, it represents the theme really nicely, but at the same time it also has enough common sense to kind of adapt its own story rather than just trying to do a recap of the movie. Well, I mean, obviously it kind of does its own thing because Tron kind of already mentioned how they transitioned, you know, the original Tron stuff from Kingdom Hearts stuff. Whatever.
Master Control, why not just derez Tron?
I still haven't located the password to the data space.
What about a logic probe? With all your processing power?
Out of the question. The current environment hampers the processing power needed for such an analysis. You're dismissed, Sark. Stop any remaining anomalies in the system, or else. End of line.
Acknowledged.
But in any case, yeah. I don't know if it was just like PS2 limitations for default face bizarrely working in the game's favor, but yeah, like the bizarre mouth movement of the MCP and Sark, and I suppose even Tron himself in certain aspects. I don't know, looks very digital and quite cool, so +1 for limitations, I suppose. But anyway, now we gotta access the power core to get out of here. And yeah, much in the same vein as a lot of other worlds in the game, you do pretty much have 2 trips into the Space Paranoids virtual world, so yeah, we got a lot to do here, but for the time being, we still have several things to do in this world before we're finished. And yeah, in terms of how they integrate the original story with the Tron mode, again, I don't know whether the implication is that, again, Tron's world, or at least the data stream initially came from, well, the Tron universe, or if Ansem visited it at some point, or if it was specifically created in Holy Bastion, but maybe even if the ENCOM company itself was in Holy Bastion in the Kingdom Hearts universe? Whatever the point is, Ansem pretty much adopted this as a computer system, and, well, it's pretty much tied into a lot of the functions, and has specific relations to the Nobodies, so it seems that, well, Ansem and some of his proteges might have been up to some trickery things. But again, the point is, Tron's universe and, well, the Kingdom Hearts lore are wholly tied into the game. Then again, I gotta say, like, I mean, I'm not usually one for, you know, overtly chiptune-y boopy-doop music, as I like to call it in some aspects, but gotta say, I do quite like the overall theme for the Tron universe. It's, mysterious. Ooh. I don't know. It hits the right, sort of notes for me, but, in any case, since we have a long, lengthy commute of gameplay, which basically just revolves around activate the power node by doing some pish missions, I think it's time for a bit of trivia, which I have right here. And hopefully I can pronounce the guy's fucking name right, because now it's time for the story of how Bruce Boxleitner reprised his role for the video game, and, again, I'm not too sure about the dude's acting career or anything, or, like, if compared to the other Disney animated actors, he has, like, a contract kind of thing that requires him to make reappearances and voice cameos in different worlds, you know, kind of akin to how Pat Carroll would voice Ursula, or, you know, James Woods would voice Hades or anything, but yeah, one of the reasons why Bruce Boxleitner reprised his role was because his son was a fan of video games, and again, he wanted to take the role of Tron in Kingdom Hearts 2 when approached simply because he wanted his son to see him in a video game, which is, again, like, I mean, you do see this often in a couple of different projects, but I always find it sweet when, you know, actors do that. I wish my dad was in a video game. Well, I mean, if he was in a video game, he'd probably tell me to get my ass off the computer and outside, but he's not here. Except he is in my heart. But yeah, like, I mean, I can't remember where I read this, but I remember reading somewhere that apparently his kid was, like, legitimately heartwarmed to see his father in a game, so yeah, that makes me smile. And I mean, plus, the fact that we have the genuine article of Bruce Boxleitner back as Tron, I think is really cool in and of itself, because not only does the character leave a really good impression, but the guy's voice is also very distinctive. Like, I mean, I think you would have lost something if you had maybe, like, an impersonator, maybe not quite to the level of, you know, James Arnold Taylor as Jack Sparrow kinds of, ill-fitting, but, you know, at the very least, you know, with a genuine article, he seems, I don't know, he just carries a certain presence to him that I think an impersonator would have lost, is what I'm trying to get at. Rambles aside, collect clusters, whack the boxes, and it's basically a game of the round and round the mulberry bush, something, whatever. Collect clusters, reactivate the thing, whatever. We're not going to be dealing with the MCP quite just yet, but, you know, there we go. Oopsie daisy. I'm not too sure if there's a faster way of doing this if you do capture the glowing cube, but hey, whatever. Go! Whoopee. Cutscene of things happening. Power core initiated. Gravimetric warp drive stable. Warp 7, Mr. Sulu. Whatevers. Again, the primary thing you're going to be doing throughout the next couple of parts is pretty much just restoring Tron's functions and basically getting him battle ready, so we can finally take on the MCP and its forces. And now you pretty much have your link back to the real world if you just want to go back, tackle some other worlds beforehand, for whatever other reason, but, you know, in the meantime we've still got stuff to do. I mean, we will be jumping back and forth between worlds in some bizarre plot pacing, but again, since we are at the halfway mark of the game at this point, it is kind of due for some revelations, and something which you're probably going to be hearing in the next part is, well, debatably where Kingdom Hearts as a series began to lose the plot for some people. Or at the very least might have been some very early inklings if Chain of Memories with the anime bullshit didn't exactly throw you off. But anyway, we gotta go back to the pit cell. Kinda weird that they have like a terminal for people to well, I mean, I guess specifically the terminal was there for, again, the users to interact with, which is kinda bizarre. I do wonder how alien to viewers of the 80s that a lot of Tron's computer terminology was confusing. I mean, again, I'm not gonna question the logistics, because I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of these terms do have actual meaning, like from, you know, CPU, user ident, and stuff like that, but I don't know.
So, what did you want us to do?
Find my user. He'll give you the password to access the DTD.
You bet!
So,
DTD is the name my user gave to the data space. Copies of all the original system programs are stored there, along with anything that's sensitive or restricted.
Is there stuff about the Heartless or Organization 13?
Most likely. A number of my functions were appropriated when I last took on the MCP. That's why I need the password. If I can get inside the DTD, I can access my original backup program and restore all my functions. Then I'll be able to put this system back the way it was before the MCP got control and changed everything. The way it was supposed to be. A free system for you, the users.
Gee, Tron, ain't the MCP one of those programs too? Do you know who it was who made it?
Actually, I don't know.
okay, we'll just have to find your user and ask him. What's his name?
You mean you don't know? My user is the user of this system. Ansem the Wise.
Ansem?
Looks like the MCP's onto us. I'll keep this terminal up and running. You better exit the system now.
Sure, but Tron, Ansem is...
We'll get you the password!
Okay, you're good to go. Hurry!